Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to United View. Welcome to another morning view. Happy Tuesday, 8th of April. Sun is shining, skies are blue. Still a little bit nippy in the morning though. I need that. It's warm in the middle of the day, but it's
Yeah,
one of them ones where when you're in the shade, it ain't warm. So I
I
need
like
the
it.
I need the all out warm. But for this
I
time of the
like
year,
it.
we shouldn't be
Yeah,
complaining
that's
in this
perfect for
country.
me. I don't
Yeah,
like,
you ain't gonna
me.
get
I'm,
sunburned.
I'm, I'm no. Well, I did
Well,
walk out yesterday.
uh,
Yeah, I walked out yesterday. It was a
yeah.
bit fierce in certain sections, so I have to be a bit careful. But it was nice, like you said. If it's a bit too much, get in the shade, and it's a bit cold. It's good. It's good. I'm enjoying it.
100%.
I'm enjoying the weather.
The weather, the weather.
The weather. The weather.
Yes, big up to each and every single one of you, man. Smash a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. You know what to do, man. Do all of the good stuff, get the timekeeping, get everything in order. Yeah, you don't know what that is. Today we kind of touched on it yesterday, the red carpet, but the main story yesterday was Mateus Cunha because Ben Jacobs was coming out saying that Cunha wants United, etc., etc. And kind of halfway through, we didn't really do the Chris Wheeler piece. We didn't really expand upon that or talk about that in more detail, really. So we thought we'd leave it for the morning because it's about Liam Delap. He is the prime target for Man United, the number one target. Of course, we've all spoke about Osimhen, etc., etc. I had a little chat. We all put our 10 pence in yesterday. We'll talk about it today more in detail about what type of striker that we want, that we need, that we think Man United should be going for. But by the reports, it's all steam ahead for Liam Delap.
Yes, it is all steam ahead. But before we get there, Flex, you can see in the sidebar, you can scan and subscribe. Links in the video description. The first video dropped yesterday of the Football Flex. Yes.
Big up, man. Big up.
Good
Nice
reaction.
moment. Some really good reactions. Some great comments. A lot of support. You guys vibing already. Like I said, unruly settings over there, man. Like we're just gonna have some fun. It's gonna be that space where I just let off steam. Someone said in the comments, not sure if I like this because you're not gonna get held in contempt, like to come to court. Like you can just say a madness over here. But listen, it's about all football. It's not about Man United.
No,
it's not about Man United. We have to remember that. So it's
Yeah.
cussing other teams. So why'd you care if I'm wrong? Who cares? Who cares if I say Arsenal are shit? There's no way they're going to get past Real Madrid and then Saka does a madness. Who cares?
And if you think that Flex's words won't be used against him, with more evidence being out there,
exactly.
What, if anything, it's a dangerous move.
Exactly.
More information is going to be out there available to use. It's going to be per Fleck indeed. But yes, talking about Liam Delap, as you mentioned, Flex, there was a bit yesterday from Chris Wheeler, and also last night from JB Jackson, basically saying the same thing, that Manchester United in the Premiership, playing good football. Manchester United are eyeing Liam Delap as a prime summer target, with his price expected to be in the region of £40 million. Ruben Amorim and Jason Wilcox have identified Delap as an ideal option to bolster the attack. United's other potential centre-forward targets are thought to include Victor Osimhen. And whether or not that Osimhen one actually happens remains to be seen. But it's another outlet, another reporter saying that Delap's the prime target. I mean, it looks like now, we were just having a bit of a chat actually off air about this, but Premier League season in certain aspects is already kind of done. We already know who's going to win the league. We already know who's going to get relegated. One of them is going to be Ipswich. And that means Delap's going to have a release clause of around £40 million. And we know our price point and we know our, profile of player that we're going after. Is it going to become quite inevitable that it's just going to be Liam Delap's going to be the striker signing? Because already we're hearing those reports about, don't really expect Mateta, don't really expect Osimhen, don't really expect Gyökeres, don't really expect that. The only one that I'm hearing
noises.
is that United are interested in Delap. All the other ones that we were linked to, we're already hearing, we're not interested in them.
Yeah, and this is why, listen, deep down, I was very passionate about getting Osimhen and a striker that's just ready to go. Because I'm just so done with looking at the striker position and being like, I just need.
Exactly. He spoke to Fan Tribe at the weekend. Exactly. He spoke to Fan Tribe at
the
weekend.
Not just him, but I was already thinking it anyway. But yeah, when you speak to neutrals, you know what I mean? It's just rubbish, man. It's so rubbish. In my group chats with the boys and that, and just, do you know what I mean? Just getting laughed at all the time. You think so dead, innit? Like, you're so it's just so toothless, and they're right. Like, there's no, I can only speak about what it's like, you know what I'm saying, in my circles, and it's like, that's what gets said in my thing a lot. You lot, so look at your dead strike for you lot are shit. Like, and I go, yeah, I know, man. That's so crap. I'm fed up of that. And especially in the 9, I just don't want to compromise. But if I'm being realistic, yeah, like Lil Yo-Yo says, the pity talks, 100%. We're all in group chats like it when you speak to your friends and they just like take pity on you, right? But if we're being honest, it fits in it. It fits. It fits with the price range. It fits with this age profile, which again, like I said, we already got a young striker. I'm not saying Liam Delap is not good. I'm not saying Liam Delap is not better than Højlund, because I believe he is. He is better than Højlund. But it's just another young striker that, you know, he has got Premier League experience, obviously, from this year.
Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Not Flecknology, you know. Always a bit of Flecknology in the morning, folks. You know, it's the Gremlins, you know. Do you know what it was as well? Is it was going, and I thought, I wonder if that's me. And it wasn't me. It was Fleck. I mean, I say let's just sort of sit in silence and sort of wait till he returns. You know, it's just kind of, yeah. Then he's gone, and then he's gone. You know, as Joe Blackman says, what's the? That's what I thought, Lil Yo. I thought, it can't be Flex. I mean, he's got the M4 Fizzy. He's got, you know, there's the Flecknology doesn't happen anymore. You know, that doesn't show. No, that wouldn't.
Disgrace. That's what it is. A disgrace.
What is it, Kenny?
Disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful.
Yeah. Soundboard's back, by the way. Soundboard's back working. So that's good. That's good. Flex was talking about Liam Delap, and the Wi-Fi went, you know.
Hold on, wait a minute, Flex.
Can't have you carry on doing your show. Can't have that. Can't have that. And remember last night, he said, I never cussed the Wi-Fi me. I'm old school me. I never cussed my internet provider. I never cussed my broadband provider. Okay, he'll come back on, go, I don't know. Don't know what's going on with that. Yeah. I mean, and now I feel like I'm compensating when it comes to the soundboard. I haven't been able to use it for a really long time. But the Wi-Fi heard Flex talking, said, who do you want to get? Liam Delap. I'm heard enough. And just cut out. That's what it said, you know. Yeah. Said, you want to carry on doing the show? You want to carry on talking about Liam Delap to Manchester United?
Oh, sorry.
No. That's not going to happen. No, not at all. So we'll wait and see if Flex has the capability to come back. Otherwise, we've just we'll have a nice solo and stream, won't we? Yeah. But maybe we can hear from Flex on the Football Flex later today. Still be sure to scan and subscribe. First of all, actually, I was thinking this is why I was a little bit distracted. I was thinking, does the QR code actually work? I think it does. Yeah, it does. It does. That's good. That's a good start. Yes. You can scan that. I'll also be making appearances on the Football Flex as well, so you can catch me there. So we won't have full Flecknology. It's fine. We got a super chat as well from Terence, and actually, I tell you what. First of all, get the likes in now. Get the likes in now, and get the super chats in now. So we'll just say that Flex. That was, you know what I mean. They had to the community had to rally behind Owen, really, you know, and they had to really sort of go after and help Owen out. So if you haven't already, sort of click the like button. We'll get to we'll get 500. We'll get 500 like right away, and then it'll be like, oh, that was all without you. So you know, that's kind of one of those. Terrence says, my concern with Delap is that he is a shining light in an abysmal team that might mask his flaws when he makes the jump to the bigger team. That could be something, or conversely, it could be a situation whereby he's a player that is performing well in a very bad team, and when he goes to a better team, not so much better in the case of Manchester United, but better, then maybe he will play better with better players at a better standard, at a better level. It depends how you look at these things. I think the thing I'm not necessarily against the Chris, flex your mute, your videos off. I'm not against the Delap signing. The one concern I have is that he's young, and we would have 2 young strikers. Now, depending on what happens with Rasmus Højlund, if he gets sold, then we need to get another striker. So I have concerns on, I'll be repeating the same mistakes. We signed a young striker in Rasmus Højlund, didn't work out. We said we needed experience. Are we just doing the same thing, getting another young striker? Is that really the right move? That's a concern for me. But also, on the other side of things, I do have this, I've mentioned this quite a bit recently, that we do have this, Turner. Terrific. I've just got a message from Flex. Terrific. This is a message from Flex, and I quote, "Fucking Wi-Fi," is what he said. He never cusses the Wi-Fi. He never cusses the Wi-Fi. We got another message. Fucking internet again. It doesn't really cuss the internet provider. It doesn't really cuss. I'm only laughing because I've been there with the Virgin Media in the past. So that's not.
Don't even want to swear this early.
Oh, I already have. I read out your messages.
It feels like it could. I don't want to jinx it and be going into the territory that you had, where you had to cuss out providers, but because mine's not bad, so I'm gonna give it the benefit. This is strike one. Just before we went live yesterday, there was a few things, and it was all right for the whole show. So I went, okay, I'll give you that.
Yeah,
strike one. But I reset the box and it was back on straight away. So that's strike one.
So what you're saying is, basically, you're saying
you better watch out because we are come for you.
Correct.
Yeah.
Use your phone as a mobile hotspot. Not where I live, mate.
No.
Yeah, just to even, I sent Owen FNL the thing about that ages ago.
Yeah,
I'm on 1 bar and 4G. That can't run. So yeah, I definitely can't run a stream off that. I could barely send a WhatsApp message off that.
No, you can barely do a phone call off that.
Yeah, exactly. You've heard if I ring.
Yeah.
That can't run.
Yes.
Right. So everything's back online after the little refresh, little gremlin in the system. Anyhow, make them try.
Yeah, they were saying, like M4 Fizzy, his conspiracy theories going, you know what I mean? We would hear from you on the Football Flex instead, you know what I mean? Just little teaser.
Or you just see me go live on the thing instead.
Yeah.
He's left, mate. He's got his priorities in the wrong place, mate.
Yeah.
Right. What did I miss?
I was saying about Liam Delap, and I was saying that there is a concern that obviously he's a young player, and we did the same thing with Højlund. Bring a young player in. Do we need experience? Are we repeating the same mistake, etc., etc.? However, and this was something I said on the red carpet last night, that I do think we have to get out of this mindset of if we sort of turn our nose up at players from smaller teams lower down the league, or maybe in the championship or whatever, and like, it won't work. And the reality is we've bought big players, established players in the past. That hasn't worked. So the hit rate is kind of the same regardless, isn't it? And that's where you then get into the territory of actually, it's almost better off going for those sort of smaller signings, less expensive signings, not big contracts, because then if they don't work out, you've got greater flexibility to be able to maneuver and go, okay, right, that hasn't worked out. We can go in something different. I think, but This is the problem. We are now at a phase with Manchester United Flex, yeah, where any signing we do, we're like,
Exactly.
that's not going to work. Why? Well, they're
100%.
young. If we sign an experienced player, that's not going to work. Why? Well, they're too old. Or,
Hasn't played in the league.
Hasn't played in the league. Well, that's not going to work. You know, I saw a clip the other day. I was telling KG this on the match view. Not even joking. I'll see if I can find it when you're talking in a second. It was like fans outside Old Trafford when we signed Eric Cantona going, who are Cantona? We won't sing that.
Yeah, he's from Leeds as well, isn't it? So it's
they're
like,
going, Cantona at United? That's not going to work. And then I saw it, I went, well, that actually is quite reassuring that it's always been like this. It's not, everything's not going to work out until it does, basically. That's it. It's always just, it's prove everyone wrong. That's what we are. So I don't have a massive problem with it.
Here's the thing, Owen, for me. Owen, I hear you. Yeah, I hear you. And you make some good points. I'm just worried because we also have to build a team, right? And get good and get better at a decent rate. And it's for me, what else are you going to get to complement him? Because otherwise he could just end up getting swallowed up again and hung out to dry. Because we've seen that he's got talent. We all agree he's got talent, right? We all agree he's better than Højlund. But what could happen here if you don't recruit properly and the pressure is that you're putting another young kid, who's still got a long way to go into that firing line. And if you have too many players like that, Dorgu as well as another one, young, Aiden Heaven, young, it's great. You need it, but we also need experience. And it just worries me. I'm not turning my nose up because I'm like, Ipswich relegated. We're Man United? We're Man United. How could we be going after Liam Delap? Like, I'm not doing that because it's not a sexy name. I don't care about that. It's more, if I'm honest, just doing it again like another youngster. That's in the 9 as well. Like, it's just such a problem area. I'd rather go with more experience, been there, kind of done it kind of vibe. But I take your point in terms of, like, in this rebuild phase, that you are going to need younger players and different price ranges, and to kind of be like that middle ground, stepping stone ground. But nah, man, I don't know. It just worries me. Because I think also then they'll keep getting other young players in the same window too. Another 20-year-old right wing back, a 20-year-old, 21-year-old central midfield. Obviously, yes, we always need to do it, but I don't know. I just don't know. Is he an upgrade on Rasmus Højlund? Yes. Like I said, yes, he is an upgrade. So off of that, you just go, yeah, put him in there, do better than Højlund in this current squad. Can't be any worse. I get that. But it's still 40 million on a 5-year deal. Do you know what I mean? It's still significant money.
Yeah. So
it's just where we have to shop. But price point, I get why he's an attractive sell. 100%.
Yeah, it's going to be a really interesting summer, isn't it? I think everyone is almost looking already so far ahead to the summer because the season's just rubbish. And actually, it was quite refreshing is seeing the sort of rest of the Premier League catch up with us in that. We've been saying, about this season's boring now. It's over. Can't be bothered with it. And now every other team's doing the same thing, and they go, it's boring. Robotic. And you do kind of feel that across the sort of Premier League, don't you? It was interesting to what Gary Neville was saying about that at the weekend. We're going, everything's so robotic, everyone's so micromanaged now, and
he's right.
And the games are dull, and it's true. Like tonight, obviously with the Champions League, it's a bit exciting, getting to the quarterfinal stages, some big ties, and that's exciting. But there might be some of those games where actually we're watching it, we're going, this is a bit dull. And I can't remember a time actually when in April, usually, if you had a Manchester derby in April, it would mean something to at least one of the teams, if not both, in terms of what you would be looking to achieve that season, whether it's Manchester United or Manchester City going for a title, or if you can win, you can push for the top 4 or something. I don't know. Even when Manchester City was shit and we were good, at least we were going for a title or trying to do something. I just cannot remember a time where a Manchester derby felt that just completely pointless. completely pointless. And like Red Baron said there in the chat, I mean, I know Newcastle going for top 4 in that, but even yesterday's game it was a write-off before it even kicked off.
It felt like that 3-0 sort of when you forfeit the game anyway.
Yeah,
It's just done that. It's just press sim.
Yeah, it just, and it just feels everything's just sort of dull, isn't it? Everything's just dull. And I don't know if it's because there's so many games now. They're saying, oh, there's so many games. Players are tired. They can only play a certain way, or I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's just because this season's just been weird and everyone just wants to get to next season. But even over the summer, there's going to be a lot of football in the summer with the Club World Cup as well. So I don't know. I'm at a weird place with football at the moment, Flex.
Yeah, because we just need it to end and get to that, because it's everything you said is because it's bang on. This season doesn't mean, obviously we just want to get to the Thursdays to have this 2-legged tie with Leon. That's all we care about. If we could just play that and that's it, everyone would take it. Same with probably Spurs. You know what I mean? Same with Arsenal. Same with all the rest of the other teams fighting for Europe. Obviously, they want to get in there. That's different. The rest of us, there's nothing else going on. Intayi says Delap wouldn't even start for Fulham. Muniz and Jimenez are better. So why is he good enough for us? So that's what I mean. And there is a lot of that going on. So would you suggest to go and buy, what is he, 31-year-old Jimenez or however old he is, because he's better than Delap? It's not always transferable just because he wouldn't start for them because they've got 2 decent strikers. It means that's why he shouldn't come for us. Because also, I don't think you'd say we should go and buy them, would you?
Well, and also it's one of those ones where it's like, in let's say a year's time, if Liam Delap, when he moves to a Premier League club in the summer and and if he has a good season, then we'll be like, he's way better than Jimenez. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So sometimes it's about getting ahead of that. I know we'll wrap up. Heaven says it there on the screen. I've been banging that Mateta drum for the last few weeks.
You want Mateta more than everyone, don't you? Really?
I'm not against that. So I think that there is a bit of, again, turning the nose up at going, yeah, Mateta, Palace, big guy. Well, yeah, we're doing but we're Man United. What does that even mean anymore? What does that mean? We're Man United. We're 13th. We might not be in Europe next season. We're in that mix. We're in that mix of people. We're next to Palace in the league. So who are we to be like, he wouldn't succeed at United? He's succeeding at Palace.
Did you do this for Ivor Clips? Did you do that earlier?
I did not.
Oh, sorry, because it's basically what you're saying. So Ivor Clip says, can we please stop the X is not good enough for United? We are shit and have been for a very long time. Amorim is key for football development. Red Baron says, we all do that lazy analysis in which we categorize what we want. We're branding Delap as X, but he may turn out to be something different. Listen, it's all about he may or he may not. And it's about basically what you're saying, Owen, and what Ivor Clips is saying, and Red Baron there, is dropping that snobbery, isn't it? Dropping that snobbery of, like you say, this is a different Man United. Maria was talking about it yesterday in his podcast about when Keane and Neville were going in on this team in the derbies. Like, well, we've been battered by City like loads. You go, that's not the standard. They get a half decent result. Good performance. Listen, it's not great. It's not, you're talking about the Man United you played in, all the fighting, all the, that's not this. This is never going to be that. So he was like, when's your happiness going to be then? Only really when Man United win the Premier League again, really.
Yeah.
But maybe Roy Keane's point is that standards at Man United should be that. You shouldn't be happy until then, which ultimately is true. But there has to be this in-between bit. And this is what you're talking about. Imagine if you said to Roy Keane, Mateta, he literally would be, Man United. Man United.
And I get it. And I get it. Like
this boy, it's got relegated. He's going to come save us, is he? He's going to come save them.
Yeah.
Do me a bit. That's what it'd be like. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. But this is the interesting point with it, isn't it? Because when you have this conversation, it'll be like, standards. You're part of the problem, Flex. You've accepted mediocrity. And it's not necessarily accepting it as going, I'm fine with it, but it's also more of a case of sort of accepting reality. And when I say accepting reality, just acknowledging that it does exist, not going, it's fine and I'm happy with it. Nobody's happy with it. Nobody's happy Man United are 13th.
We should be shopping for Isak.
No one's happy that we won't be in the Champions League most likely next season. No one's happy about that because I had a child growing up watching Man United win the league every season. So clearly I'm not happy with the position that we're in now. But I can also accept that it is where we are and hopefully it improves, the last thing we should be doing is sticking our head in the sands, being like, nope, we should, like you said, we should be going and getting Alexander Isak. And then when we don't get him in the summer, this is the mad one. We don't get him in the summer. We'll get upset that we didn't get Isak. When are we fucking going to get Isak? It's not going to happen. He's going to go to the best team in the league, which we are not. We're not the best team in the league. And now, because we've been so bad for so long, the only way back to that is by getting sort of players that are smaller, at, like you said, less sexy signings or at less sexy clubs, and hoping that they go the way that we hope they will go. And other clubs have had to do it in the past, whether it's, Arsenal or Liverpool, bring players through or sign players from within the Premier League. If let's say Newcastle or let's say, I don't know, Arsenal or whoever signed Liam Delap this summer, would be going, I tell you what, actually, that's smart business. That's good business. Or we want to be more like Brighton. If Brighton signed Liam Delap, we go, it'll be good for them. It'll be good.
Yeah,
we just don't. We don't trust Manchester United. That's the main issue. We don't trust our recruitment. We don't trust, that players are going to come in and they're going to become good players. So just across the board, blanket, we're just like, well, if they're experienced, they'll be shit. If they're young, they'll be shit. If they're in between, they'll be shit. So then that's when you get into the case of then why bother? Shut the channel down.
Yeah, no, it's true. And let's be honest, we're in that in-between phase where they just need to improve. If we see improvement with these types of players, we'll be swayed. If we're on the fence about like I said, I'm on the fence about like, I just want an experienced striker, man. But if he comes in and just we're better and he's scoring goals, it puts it to bed. It puts it to bed. And that's the thing. That is the biggest thing that we have to realize, is that the recruitment, like you said, we don't trust it. So that the hit rate is low and we're shit. So we're like, there's no, remember we were saying that there's no signing you can make. When you speak to like neutrals, like, they go, oh, fucking got him. What's he going to do? Like you get Dorgy, you go, oh, it's a guy from Lecce, whatever. Or you spend big and you try and get, you go, spending all that money trying to get him. Your team's crap. What's he going to do? There's no, so we can't buy anyone then.
Look at the signings in this. Look at this. Look at the last summer window. Every signing we brought in immediately was met with, I don't know about that. Delict. Yeah, Paul Scholes being like, couldn't even get in just making stuff up. Couldn't get in the buying team. Thomas Tuchel hated him. You go, that's not necessarily true.
And then we're going to win a Premier League with them. What players can we attract? That's the one I don't like. You're never going to win a Premier League with them. When you're 14th going through this transition with the money problems that we've got, the players that we can win Premier Leagues with, which ones can we afford? Which ones could we get? Which one would want to come here?
Well, we got Mazraoui in the summer. Yeah, but getting him that cheap from Bayern Munich. I don't know about that. Why did they want to leave Bayern Munich? Lenny Oro. Well, you've overspent for him. The only reason you got him from Real Madrid, you spent loads of money, and and he went, and he's not even going to be that good. The stat coming out yesterday or whatever it was, Lenny Oro hasn't been dribbled past in the last 12 games. Something ridiculous. 18, 19.
Like that. No memes anymore. No lend me a euro and all that. Like, I haven't. And then you get the neutrals. It's because we don't care about you anymore because you're just shit. It's can't bother to laugh at you. No, it's because like you just chatting shit about him. Like he's good.
But then, like you said, that this is the point, is that it doesn't matter who we actually bring in, because whoever we go after will be roundly criticized until, if they come in and then they play well, they won't get praised. It will just go silent. Like with Delap, right?
Well, yeah, 100%. Just go silent. Joel says, stop gassing all those players bought in the summer. Well, shit, allow it. So I get that. So that's what I'm saying. So we're shit. So what, for you, Joel, I want to know what we should do. You know our finances now. We all got a kind of feeling about the markets we're going to be in. You might be like thinking we ain't going to win Europa League as well. You know what I'm saying? Because I get that. We can't say that last season was great because it's been a bad season. What's the solution? Like, what type of players do we go after now? Do we try to just get as much quality as we can and spend, if you have to spend big, or do you understand like trying to get players like a Delap? Like, what are you saying?
Well, and again, that's a very sweeping statement. All the players are shit. So Lenny Oro's shit. Delict. I mean, he's not. I don't know if he's amazing, but he's not shit. Mazraoui's definitely not shit. You can make an
And then
argument with Ugarte, maybe that he
and
was
Xerxes.
overpriced. It was overpriced, but he's not shit. I think he's good at what he does. Xerxes, I think, in fairness to Xerxes, like I was saying the other day, I was defending him, going, I wouldn't sell him in the summer. I just think he's been horribly misprofiled. Why we signed him? If we signed Xerxes and we signed him to be a 10, and he was profiled from the outset as a 10, I think the viewpoint of him would be totally different. The problem is that we signed him as a striker. And I don't get that. You can't. I don't think you can say it's an amazing window because look where we are in the league. It's not like it radically transformed Manchester United, but also that's an oversimplification to suggest that was all down on them because it's not. Because we still say like the same players will go, it should have. Well, but it doesn't matter because you've still got Luke Shaw, you still got Casemiro, you still had Rashford, you still had Anthony, you still had this, you still had that. So to sort of suggest that it was a shit window, we're 13th, that's on them. Everyone we sign's rubbish. That's just not true.
It's show right here though. I'm baffled how people still hype last summer's window. Ugarte bang average cost 45 million. Delap squad level. Mazraoui squad level. Euro no judgment yet. As in what? You're not saying whether he's good or bad yet. You want to see more. And Xerxes squad level. So basically, or was that our window to get a bit of a squad going, and then now we're starting to tailor make it to get like quality?
To be honest, I think I wouldn't say it's an amazing one. I'd say it's an average window. I wouldn't say it's a bad window because again, those players we're talking about, they're starting every single week. So if they're
does that mean they're good though? They can start every week, but what's the quality?
Says a lot. I think it says a lot about the squad that they came into. I mean, if they're starters and we're saying they're squad level, then they came into an absolute awful squad. I mean, that's basically, if you look at some of those players, some of the players that have played better for us this season, really, the failing is that the squad that's been assembled over the last like 3 years under Erik ten Hag was shit. It was rubbish.
Uncle's saying, this is an interesting topic. Uncle's saying, nah, Delap and Mazraoui aren't squad level. As in, what, they're worse than that? Or not, or better, because they're like better than squad level. Toby says, but we need a proper squad anyway. That's not a bad window. Okay window. Yeah, I think okay. I think if you look at if you look at certain things, yeah, if we're being honest,
especially compared to recent windows, holy shit, the season before that's the Onana, Mount, Højlund, Johnny Evans window. So by our standards, it was a good window.
Yeah, but there you go. That's what I'm saying. See, standards on the floor 2024. Like you're comparing it against, like you said, one of the worst windows. That's up there with the Dallo, Fred, Lee, Grant.
Yeah, and even then the year before that, I mean, in terms of signings, Casemiro, Anthony combined over 100 million quid. Yeah, Leacher, which fairness impact for the first season, but last 2 seasons barely played. It's not. Our windows haven't been good.
I think the key is to not overgas it because, like you said, we bought them players and we ended up finishing 13th, 14th. Now we didn't end up finishing 13th, 14th because we only bought them players. That was because Eric was there, shouldn't have been there. You know what I mean? Ruben comes halfway, change all the system. It's a total mess. Firefighting just to stay alive. That's all this season has been, yeah. So it isn't necessarily all of them players because if Ruben would have been there from August. Yeah, or June, July, the summer. I don't think he goes and gets them players. I don't think he buys Xerxes. Ugarte is an interesting one because he already had him. He's had him before. Would he buy him for here? You can't just say because he had him before, then it means he definitely would have. Also, who else? Would he have gone and bought Mazraoui? Mazraoui can, play multiple positions, but would he have just gone and got a specialist? He might have not gone and got someone who can play 3 or 4 positions quite well. He might have just gone and got a right wing back who can play that very well. So, Delap, would he want that sort of centre back? Maybe not. Maybe not that profile. So it's hard to say that that window is dead because like we're just 13th. It ain't just because of them. There's such a bigger context. But in terms of the individuals, I do agree. Like we can't wax lyrical about them, but some of them are like Yoro's done well and looks like he's a good talent for the future. Delap's a competent defender. He individually hasn't made us worse. I wouldn't say. you know.
Like with anything, it's just again, it's talking in absolutes, isn't it? It's like, you know, people are like Joe said, gassing it up. You know, you could, I think, looking at it in retrospect, you probably go, maybe like a 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10, maybe.
And it felt better at the time, but it still wasn't.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was like Eric, what we thought it was going to be.
Yeah, but it's not, you know, it's not the best window, but also, and you do, and unfortunately, you do have to compare it to our baseline for Manchester United, which is compared to recent windows, it's better. The hope would be this coming summer, and there's nothing to really base it off, I suppose, but with people actually in their positions now, Ruben will be here. It's not as if they're going to decide to go in a different direction at the end of the season. They'll buy for him. So hopefully this coming summer window will be better than that. But you know, that's all hope. But I just think it's unfair to sort of suggest, well, like you said, we signed those players, we're 13th. They've made
So that
us
means
worse.
they're all rubbish.
Yeah, they've made us objectively worse. Like if you now taking a step back on it, we've been on this trajectory for the last however many years, haven't we? Really, you know. And that, again, that's the where I suppose going into this summer window is how do you you know get back on track? I don't know.
Show says, but my point is, people hyped up Ineos with this elite structure, but they gave us a 5 out of 10 window. So why are Ineos better than the previous structure?
Well, I would say they're better than the previous structure because those signings that we have made, maybe outside of the sort of Delap one, I'm just thinking wages. We're not completely. Well, you know, with the reason they're better than the other structures because we can't get rid of Casemiro. We can't get rid of Casemiro
Or Mason Mount.
We can't get rid of Mason Mount. Andre Onana. This whole thing about the summer going, you know, with Onana, we'll try and get rid of him. Maybe everyone's going, I'm not going to get rid of Onana. How are we going to get rid of Onana? How are we going to get rid of Casemiro? How's that going to happen? It's just not. So that's why it's not a lot better. I'll give you that. It's not a lot better. But again, we have to have context. We are not going to be overnight. And maybe this is what shows maybe suggesting is that people are hoping that overnight we're going to become as well run as, say, a Brighton. You know what I mean? And we're going to be constantly making, you know, 10 out of 10 signings or 8 out of 10 signings. You do have to take step by step, don't you? You can't just go from 0 to 8 overnight. You can't. That's not going to happen for us. To get there, we are going to have some 5s and some 6s. You know, but we've been doing 0s.
Yeah,
for a
some
while.
average. But yeah, you got to bring it up incrementally, innit? It's not just going to jump from like this is perfect recruitment now. I do agree it doesn't have to take as long as we think if you make good decisions, like what Ralph Rangnick originally said, and we all thought that. Like it doesn't have to take 10 years. It doesn't have to take 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can if you have 3 solid summers, your team can look. Your whole starting 11, your whole team could look and should look completely different. You know. So all right, I agree with that. Last summer, meh. You know what I mean? Average window at best, really, if we think about it. This is the one now where you've got your manager in who you actually want, because they've admitted to us, whilst they were backing Eric last season, they didn't even really fancy him. Massive failing. Massive failing.
And also...
Which is why Ineos should be picked up, which is Rashad's got a point there.
No, exactly. And they've made mistakes. And to be fair, when Jim was saying that in the interview, he did say, made a mistake in that. And the problem is that
made a mistake.
Make culpa. But then you go, right, so this summer you shouldn't make the same mistakes, right?
100%.
Right?
We should see, and this is why the anticipation of this summer is so crazy. Yeah, we should see a real significant change, like in terms of the quality. I get we have to take into context. We might not listen. I think we're going to win Europa League. I'm just going with that. I'm just doing it. I'm just being toxic. But like KG said about what Thursday is and that, I'm just saying we're going to win the thing. I'm just going with that because I just want something to fight for the season. I'm fed up of just going into every game like, I don't know. We're going to win Europa League, right? But let's obviously, you get why I'm saying that. But obviously, say if we don't, yeah. I can take that into context of like it meant we couldn't go after, Šeško's there. Why not there for Šeško? Why are you not there for Ekati, like this, whatever, Osman, why are you not getting him? I understand the levels of like money and stuff like that. But there still should be, by the time that window shuts, which there's quite a few different dates because it's Club World Cup, I got confused. But whenever it shuts, I think that we should see, right, that is a building block. That is a step up from last year's. If that window shuts again and we're underwhelmed, we got every right to start cussing this.
Absolutely. And I was literally just checking here on Google. There's an article from The Athletic from Dan Sheldon. It was in April, around this time, like literally 10th of April last year. And it was when John Murtough was announced that he was leaving. He was stepping down as the Manchester United football director. And it was the question, who leads Manchester United's crucial summer transfer window? And in it, they sort of go, well, Omar Barada, but he's not in until July. And Dan Ashworth, well, he's not kind of in just yet. And this person's not in just yet. This person's not in just yet. So like they were sort of suggesting that actually, a lot of those decisions, they actually just weren't ready to make them. Yeah. And I know that's and that's not what people want to hear, because it's like, they still made mistakes, and they did. And this isn't like simping for Ineos or anything like that. But this is the summer when you do go, right, if you're
we'll see.
If you're having similar mistakes, exactly. If you're having similar mistakes now, you have no excuse. You have no excuse.
100%.
You've gone on record publicly and said that everyone's in the right place, everyone's set up. You've got your coach, you've got your people, you've got Pavel's permanent. All of these people are ready to go. But we shall see.
Yeah, Old Trafford TV, Aston Villa went relegation side to Champions League immediately after they changed ownership. And to be fair, it shows how important a coach is as well, because Unai Emery did it with, a team that was largely Gerrard's as well.
When did Aston Villa change ownership?
No, it wasn't ownership. It was like Monchi. It was the footballing side. It wasn't really ownership.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Monchi came in and the sporting directors and stuff. They didn't change. I don't think they changed ownership, but I get what he's basically saying. They changed what we changed. The footballing. I know we did change ownership as well, minority, but we haven't really changed ownership.
So it's not really an apt comparison, is it?
No, but it is with the football side. They changed their They got a new footballing department like we did. They've assembled. So
Unai Emery came in after and also as well with it, Steven Gerrard had all of his people in, that failed. They brought Unai Emery in and it got a bit better. And then they brought in, what was his name? Monchi?
Monchi guy, yeah. It's his people.
Brought in Monchi afterwards. That was last summer.
That's Emery's guy.
Monchi.
Yeah.
Yeah, they brought that in last summer and they had a good summer. Yeah. But they had their people in.
But they improved, but what they did do well before they started even getting loads of signings, which is not even, a lot of these players that I was killing it were there already. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's the players that were already at the club. You're looking at like Konsa and flipping Cash, Dinya, all people like this. They're already there. You know what I mean? It's who else? It's only the new lot like Tillemans, Onana. People like McGinn and that were already there. Douglas Luiz was there. He was good with them. So your Bailey was already there. Watkins was already there. So Ramsey would have been already there. So it's only when they started getting Rodgers and that, and look, they got him from the Championship. So I don't know.
Well, if we try to get Morgan Rodgers from the Championship, we go absolutely not.
You get laughed at, and that's your point there, though. If the structure, and that is this actually feeds into your point perfectly. If the structure is right and your recruitment is good, and you're bringing them into a stable environment with a good manager with a clear idea and whatever, it works. Because that's a perfect example of the Morgan Rodgers. It was Borough, innit? Like, you're going, okay, I didn't think he's going to be this good. Do you know what I mean? That was one of the best 10s in the league.
Or if we tried to get a Rashford equivalent, let's say there was a player at Arsenal, right? Let's say there's a player at Arsenal, he's kind of on it's a big player. Let's say it was, I don't know, Martinelli, someone like that, right? And then they were like,
actually him in his entirety now? Go and get him now, or you mean?
I'm just trying to think of it. I'm trying to think of a similar example. If someone like a player, Martinelli maybe is not the best example, I just think he plays on the left, but a player at a big team, they've fallen out with the manager, and we go, they're on a big contract, and we go, all right, we're going to get him on loan. We'd be like, don't do that.
We can't do that.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
But we can't do that because we've had so many problems in the we've had so much problems. You go
again because we don't.
Just got rid of Sancho. You just get rid of.
That's when it goes back to. When it goes back to. We don't trust the recruitment. We don't trust the recruitment. We don't at all. And what's going on right now with Villa? That wasn't expected of Villa. So earlier on this season, or even at points last season, when Villa, remember when earlier on this season when Villa didn't win however many games in a row? What was it? Or they hadn't won for ages.
Yeah, they went like 1-8, I think.
Wasn't that amount of pressure on Villa? That wasn't about amount of pressure on Villa. It wasn't headline stuff. If it's Manchester United, it's headline stuff, you know, because you don't, the scrutiny is different. So it's difficult to make those comparisons. That's why when people do bring up the Brighton stuff or do bring up we should be like this, you can't.
Toby, what? I think this is the maddest comment I think I've seen on this channel. Bro, is this real? What are you doing? Why are you telling us this? We can't hear you, no, but bro, what do you mean, bro? What am I reading? Why are you saying this, Toby? And why are you doing that? Why are you listening to what are you doing? Pick one, bro. Why read it? Because you know why, Yo-Yo? Owen was talking about that. I just see it and I went, what? Toby and Mrs. Toby, like, what's going on? And he's laughing as well. He's laughing. Toby, why are you still here? Take the earpiece, bro. Oh my days.
Gotta give him that hawk too and spit on that thing.
Toby, take your earpiece out, brother. Slow it, bro. Just take your earpiece out. Oh, he's in Melbourne. It's night time. Wait, where is that? Toby, you're moving. Why? Toby said he said sorry, it's dinner time in Melbourne. Bro, chill with the dinner because man are asking what you're eating and that as well. I don't know. Listen, let's.
It's graceful. Absolutely disgraceful.
Hey, listen, this certainly isn't for United. For stuff like that, scan the QR code right there. Because more unruly things can happen over there. That's just less structured. This is UV. This is a United fan channel. Yeah.
The best thing
we
is
come here to talk Manchester United. Yeah. That's what we do.
Imagine the chat could hear it, but they were just being polite not to say anything.
This community would not do that. You think Joe Black with Lil Yo-Yo and all them man just keep quiet. Oh my days. Bloody hell, man. That was sorry. Yeah. Anyway, it just caught my eye. But yes, Owen, you're right. Basically, the expectation and stuff that is at those clubs is different. And again, we don't trust it. If we went and got Adam, shout out Eagle Eyed Football, big up to you, bro. He said, yeah, it's like Adam Wharton. You know, they went and got him from Blackburn. Just shows you. Crystal Palace do it really well. You know, they did it with Eze. They did it with Elise. They get loads of players from the Championship.
Mm-hmm.
And they come and do their thing there. So, yeah. But again, going into Palace, going into Brighton as these sort of unknown sort of players, and it's a lot more.
We're in this like weird position, aren't we? Because we're like, if you go into the Championship and bring them in, like you said, and then it's going to take time to develop. But you don't get time to develop at Manchester United. But also,
and Ruben says it all the time. Don't get the time, but you need the time.
But we're also so bad that we can't attract the big players anymore that maybe I would be ready to go. So we're in this sort of weird in-between phase where we can't, like you said, can't buy anyone.
Yeah, can't buy anyone, mate. Can't buy anyone. Yeah, it's what we need is to make one happen, make a signing, a decent signing, and it just work.
Yeah,
like straight away. We need it quick,
and just have that catapult us into the top 4.
Yeah, and we have to go through the bit of like in the summer we all cussing it, saying, "I can't believe we've done this. I can't believe we've got that." Then like the games just start. Like first 5 games, oh god, he's all right. He's all right. He is. First 10 games, oh he's all right. He's doing all right. You know, tell you what, fair play. We finally got a player for like 15 million from the champ. Look at this guy, or even 20 million from the champ, whatever. Cunha would be that flex. Yeah, I hear that. Yeah. Exactly. Inkubitsia says, this is an award-winning channel. Don't need this. Exactly.
Yeah, to be fair,
that's not what we signed up for.
To be fair, Flex, you did read that chat and the equivalent of going.
No, wait a minute.
Because I just had to. I'm not gonna lie, man. It just took me. It just stuck out, like a sore thumb. Covington says, from the red carpet convo, I don't think the problem is buying stars versus small players. The problem is United. The problem is United have never completed a squad. Get any striker, but still will have problems without a proper number 8 next to Bruno to control the tempo and build up play. It 100% in terms of what else are we getting? 100%. That's what I understand. Like, Delap could be all right if you get other stuff to supplement. Because if you still got Garnacho, who ain't going to pass properly. If you still got Xerxes, he's not going to lay on chances behind that. You know what I mean? What's it really going to be? Like you said, if you haven't got probably a better ball progressor in those 6s, what is it going to be? What's the whole? If you haven't got better wing backs or they haven't improved at the rate we need, like, what is it going to look like? So I agree. You do have to look at like some positions in isolation, like for the individual, because then when you do that collectively, you'll have a better team. So then you start going, right, we've got a better striker because he's better than Hoyland. He can do this, this, and this. Now we need a better creator than Garnacho. Go and get Cunha. Right, you've sorted that. So already that link, if you had Delap and Cunha just off that, already that's way better. Then you put Ahmad next to him. Bruno played deeper. Then you say, right, Casemiro, can you move him on? Ugarte squad player. You go and get, I'm not saying it has to be Adam Wharton, someone who can play like him. You know what I mean? In that 6th position, a lot better. The team's a lot better. So yeah, it is about who you get. So there you go. Right. Smash a like on the video, guys. Subscribe to the channel. If you are new, that is all the super chats read out. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. One more right there. Right through. Bobby G. Machiavelli just came through. Says a person is starving. Someone gives them store brand bread. They say no because they want Hovis. United fans. Yeah. Be humble. Be humble, mate.
I want that best of both, mate. Yeah, I want that best of both, and I want it to be ready. I want it to be ready sliced. Yeah, that's what I want. I want it ready sliced.
I want seeded.
Yeah. I want ready. Give me that premium tiger bread. Give me that. Yeah, I want to have some crunch.
Do you like a bit of tiger bread or a bit of sourdough? Do you like a sourdough?
I love a bit of tiger bread, me.
Yes, tiger bread's very, But like you said, just get the Tesco value, bro. We're hungry. We're starving out here. Beggars can't be choosers, all right, people. We'll be back later on for the Flexing KG show. That will be 7 p.m. before his hate along Arsenal. And I will be doing I'm not going to be live for the game. Gonna just, like I said, I'm going to do a few reactions to the big games. I'm going to have my reaction. Coming soon, yeah. Because someone said, "Oh, do the hate alongs on there." Listen, the hate alongs, obviously in its name, shout out KG, that was birthed there. But I said, wishing badness on ops is what we will be doing. I'm not saying the video is going to be called that, wishing badness on ops. But yes, the watch alongs will be there for match views, whatever. Will be there to hate along to the rivals there for sure. They're coming. But my reaction will be on Football Flex after Arsenal against Real Madrid. I'm looking forward to watching that game. I don't know, man. I'm still saying, like, I think Arsenal they'll do all right. They'll do all right. I know the Kivior thing's a big bad drop off, but I can see them not losing tonight. I can see that. So, but hopefully they get absolutely destroyed. So fingers crossed. All right, peeps, we are out of here. Take care. Peace.